Thank you, Mr. Heston. There are, as some say, actresses, and then there are actresses, and then there are stars, which I think means larger-than-life guests. Well, my guest tonight certainly falls into that category, or maybe she has placed herself in it. She's not, her career hasn't been an accident. She's been busy and inventive and guides her way, and obviously is nobody's fool. She might be somebody's in the north of England, but beyond that, I would say not. She's a bit of a glitz goddess. She was Dynasty's Queen of Mean, Alexis. And she proves that there's life after Dynasty and just about everything she does. I felt lucky having discovered you in some early, do I mean Ealing Brothers comedies or the other brothers comedies in
Ealing
British?
Studios or
Ealing
Rank
Studios.
Organisation, yeah.
And,
Rank Organisation film made at Ealing Studios when I was not a glitz goddess. It's a nice expression. Who wrote that for you?
Did I use that phrase? Oh, I just...
Glamour would be better.
Someone wrote it on the wall and I just read it off blindly.
Well. But what
I
did start my career off at Ealing Studios, and in fact I remember the first time that I had a scene. It was a small little scene, and they said, well, we'll give you this dress. You're about the same size as this girl we had here last week called Audrey Hepburn, and she's going to be a star, you know. And they gave me this dress, beautiful dress. There was no way I could do it up because Audrey was like this and I was different.
You were different?
Differently shaped.
Now, at that point, she was known as a huge star.
She was becoming a huge star. It was just before she went off to do Roman Holiday. So, and I had just sort of entered the profession, as it were.
I read a quote where you said that you got a lot of bad parts and were misused and things, and that can wreck your career. But you didn't tell how to avoid that for a young actress coming up and wanting to avoid it.
My philosophy is this: if you choose to be an actor, there are very few people who can be the Jack Nicholsons, the Meryl Streeps, and the Robert Redfords and have careers that go on forever, and the, you know, the tumbling scripts onto their desk. If you want to act, then sometimes you have to accept things that aren't as good as you would like. And I consider myself desperately lucky to have been able to have been making a very good career and an excellent living for many, many years now. And I think I can say this without, you know, being immodest. There's very few females, actresses that have done that, that have not, you know, yet sort of gone into, you know, ancient crone roles. Although I did play an ancient crone in Hansel and Gretel a few years ago. I played the Wicked Witch, but I had to have lots of prosthetics.
I'm sure you had to. Well, of course, maybe if we did better things, a lot of the classic really good plays have some good roles for women. Mrs. Warren's Profession and a few things, maybe.
Yes, I always
Isn't there a good nurse in Romeo and Juliet?
Oh, thanks. Yes.
But exactly how many years have you been in this business? I don't know what made me say that.
You know, I'll tell you, I actually made my first tottering steps onto the stage at the age of 3. So, since I'm not going to tell you how old I am, it's quite a few decades.
I wouldn't even, if you told me, I wouldn't listen.
No.
I don't
that was 3, and then I retired for a bit.
Somebody said you're as old as you feel, and they're full of crap. You're as old as you are. Someone.
Oh, I don't believe that at all.
You aren't as old as you are?
No, absolutely not. It's been proven that there's chronological age and there's physiological age.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, an individual is as old as he is, and
no,
not much
they just found a woman the other day who thought she was in England, who thought she was 90, and she turned out to be 100. So you see, when she was 40,
collapsed.
she thought, no, she's still going strong. Because she got the only way she found out, she got a telegram from the Queen. Congratulations on your 100th birthday. You know, you do that in England if you live to be 100. You know, the Queen sends it. I guess the old lady didn't have a fax. But it was rather amusing, I thought, that this woman, for 100 years, had thought she was 10 years younger.
Can you imagine how various people would handle the news that they're 10 years older than they thought?
Rather well, I would think.
Kind of a nice idea for a play.
It would be miraculous. That's why I believe that one must never let the Father Time get one down.
No.
And never, because it's just all so ridiculous, really. We're all just a grain of sand on the beach, you know, puff of wind and we're gone.
You're kidding.
Well, the whole century is almost at an end, isn't it? And then we'll be an anachronism in the next century. Anybody that was born in the 20th century will be an anachronism in the 21st, I would think, after about 10 or 15 years.
Shall I, may I call you Miss Collins?
No, I'd rather you call me Joan.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Mr. Cavett.
You know what struck me the other day?
What?
Is it possible that in your and my lifetime, the last World War II veteran will die?
I don't know.
Do you know, that shook me up.
1945. That was for, oh my God, 45, that's 50 years ago.
That's right. So
Yes.
imagine how many...
But there must be some who are in their late 60s who were there fighting when they were 17 and 18.
But, I mean, in our lifetimes.
Well, I intend to live to be 87. How old do you want to be?
And then be told you're 97 by the Queen.
No, I don't think 87 is about, sounds a
But
good
it
age
occurred to me,
me.
what, I mean, I think of Civil War veterans as maybe there are one or two somewhere.
There's some wonderful people wandering around London called Chelsea pensioners. Do you know who they are?
I do know who they are. In
Yeah.
fact, I did a show with Chelsea pensioners and Spike Lee.
Oh, that must have been hysterical.
Might take some explaining to American viewers. A very funny man, and he got in with the Chelsea pensioners, and it was priceless.
Do you mean Spike Lee or Spike Milligan?
I, of
Spike
course,
Lee.
mean Spike Milligan.
Of course.
What did
Well,
I
thought
say?
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee.
I thought that's even more amusing, actually.
No.
Spike Milligan, he's brilliant.
Both Spikes would be amusing with Chelsea pensioners, but I mean, of course, Spike Milligan. No wonder you gave me that funny look.
Do you know what he said at...
Do you suppose I'm 10 years older than I think,
no.
too?
I must tell you a story about Spike Milligan, because I was at an award ceremony in London a little while ago. It was a big prestigious thing, and they gave Spike Milligan this award for the best something of the something, you know, been around for all these years. And the Master of Ceremonies said, I must read you a telegram from Prince Charles, who is a great fan of Spike Milligan's. And so he started to read, as I have watched you through the years, Spike, you have enriched my... And Spike interrupted and he said, grovelling little bastard. Brought the house down. And the next day in the paper said, Spike was rather rude about the royal family. But he was saying it in a...
Well, this is the season to be, isn't it? I mean, our own George Will refers to them as Euro trash right on the David Brinkley show. So.
Who referred to them as that?
George Will. We find that the glittering royals are really Euro trash,
well,
I think is a phrase he's used.
I'm a British subject, so I'm not going to
Shall I mind
look
my
at that
tongue?
one.
Okay.
Yeah, but they haven't exactly conducted themselves as well as your First Lady and First Gentleman.
True. Wait a minute, let me think about that during this break. When we come back, I want to ask you about my hair and yours.